Okay, in late January 2026, 3 million Epstein files were released. There are about 2.5 million more to be released, but apparently they say they're done. They're not going to release more. So, and I was certain this many would never be released. And it's pretty bad. Any other country, there would be heads rolling, but Americans are weak, so there aren't. But the claims in these files are pretty stomach-turning. I kind of verified everything myself because they're putting out a lot of fake stuff on the internet right now. For some reason, people are faking images and faking documents, and I think it's a deliberate tactic by the elites to obscure what's actually going on, the real documents. So every document has a serial number at the bottom. If it doesn't have that, don't believe it. Anyway, Epstein's pretty obviously connected to Israel. His right-hand man is Ehud Barak, the former prime minister and former defense minister of Israel. He appears about 4,000 times, in 4,000 documents, I don't know how many thousands of times. In one email to Barak, Epstein says that he wants to convince somebody that he is not a Mossad agent, smiley face. And Barak replied with, "You or me?" And interesting. I don't think he was actually a Mossad agent. I think he was a little bit higher. I think he's providing information to all kinds of intelligence services all over the world based on what's in the files. He talks about Somaliland and pre-war Libya, pre-2011 Libya. They're apparently trying to blackmail Libyan leaders before the fall of Gaddafi. And Somaliland is basically just painted as a project for the billionaires to control the Middle East. That's their staging ground. The founder of SEAL Team 6 is in the files. Epstein apparently was in contact with the guy Moot on 4chan, whose real name is Christopher Poole. I've never been on 4chan in my life. I don't really know anything about it, but apparently that's where all that culture war nonsense started. And it appears his meeting with this guy, Epstein and Christopher Poole, apparently launched one of the most infamous threads on 4chan that led to all this QAnon crap and everything else. Epstein appears to be heavily involved in cryptocurrency, and he claimed to have known the founders of Bitcoin in one email. Billionaires are all over the files, obviously. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Leon Black, Les Wexner. Les Wexner was recently released as a co-conspirator. His name was originally redacted, but they unredacted it because of Thomas Massey, senator. Epstein was a racial supremacist. That's pretty clear. He was a Jewish supremacist, thought Jews were the chosen race, the master race, basically. Had a higher IQ than everyone else. That's what he believed. Disappointingly, Noam Chomsky seems to have thought the same thing. Apparently, Noam Chomsky was great friends with Epstein, which is bizarre, unexpected, but yeah, that's apparently how it happened. There are at least 2 photographs of Epstein that I found in the files where he appears to be in a CIA facility or the Langley headquarters itself. There are like file bins labeled CIA in these photos. For some reason, in another photo, he's in the same facility, and I don't know why, but Woody Allen's there with him. Don't know what that's about, but he's there. The media is trying to paint Epstein as a Russian agent, which when he talks about Putin, it's mostly in the context of let's overthrow Putin, let's replace him with this, or let's do something in Ukraine. So I don't see how he's a Russian agent. I think he had ties to some Russian people, obviously, and maybe even Russian intelligence to some extent, but his main connections are Israel and the United States, and to a lesser extent, the UK and France. I'm a science enthusiast, and it's disappointing because Epstein was also. He funded all kinds of ridiculous science stuff all over the place. I happen to know two of those scientists that were listed in the files. They're not doing anything wrong, but they're just being organized in like some conference by Epstein. So that's disappointing, kind of shattered my whole world there. One was a NASA scientist and the other was a paleontologist. And the media, again, has latched on to the idea of this Russian honeypot idea, especially the UK media, but even the US media, which they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot there because they're admitting that there is a honeypot operation and everyone in power in America fell for it, or in the UK and some in France. But that it would be a Russian honeypot operation doesn't make sense, because are any of those countries doing what Russia wants right now? No. What are they? What country is? What country is being served here? It's Israel. The most outrageous email I found is from around 2003. That was around the time the 9/11 Commission report came out. In an email, and I confirmed this, I thought it was fake when I first saw it. I looked it up myself. It's definitely there. Ed Epstein, whoever that is, I don't know if it's Epstein's brother or what, but he asked Ghislaine Maxwell, the co-conspirator, if she wants to be on the 9/11 Shadow Commission. And he claims that the people on this commission, the list is secret. So apparently there was a commission of these elites, so-called elites, that was monitoring the real 9/11 Commission. Why would they be doing that? There are a lot of people that are never going to face any accountability for this because America's just too far gone. It's ruled by oligarchs and billionaires and lobbyists. You're not going to change anything peacefully.